Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me this Saturday morning in episode 335 of the Income Stream. That's 335 days in a row, which is just crazy. Thank you so much for helping me get here. And I'm here to help you today by doing some website and YouTube channel reviews. We're going to keep it light today. We might review 2 or 3 people. We're going to go deep into those websites or YouTube channels. I'm going to pick them at random from the chat, and we're going to dive into what's necessary to have online to succeed, to capture people's attention, to get people to stick around, to get people to, as I like to say, click and stick. That's really important. We'll talk about a lot of those rules and best practices in just a moment. But welcome in. Thank you. Say hello to your friends here if you are here live with me. And if you happen to be watching the replay, hashtag team replay in the comments section. Happy Saturday, everybody. Let's start the show. Let's do this.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right. Thank you. We got Andrew says, morning, Captain. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being here. We got Asma, Tina, we got Elton, Bill, Stephanie, Nalufar, Elton again. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you for sticking around today. Today is a big day, in fact. You know, not only have we gone live for 335 days in a row here, but I'm going to go live for 1 day in a row on my new channel, Deep Pocket Monster, later today at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you happen to have a chance to just come in and you want to watch something hopefully fun and entertaining, something a little different, you can come check me out. Again, that's at Deep Pocket Monster. Really excited about that. A little nervous, actually. And I want to speak to that a little bit because a lot of times when we build websites or create YouTube channels or just create content of any kind, we sometimes feel like we have to be perfect. And I know that based on my upbringing, that's definitely the case for me because I want it to be perfect because that's how, 4.0 student, that sort of stuff. But the truth is you can't get better unless you put yourself out there. And, it'd be kind of insane if you did something for the first time and it was optimal and the most efficient and the way it should be. And in fact, everything evolves. So it's important that as we evolve, that we need to understand that, well, that means that, well, there were some things that maybe weren't as great as they could be, but at least you put yourself out there. And that's what's most important. So if you've been holding off on putting yourself out there in one way, shape, or form, I highly recommend that you just put yourself out there. I would be very surprised to see if anybody here, or anybody in the world, in fact, created something for the first time and it was perfect. So hopefully that encourages you. And as I go through these website and YouTube channel reviews today, I want you to know that I'm doing this to help out. The things that I'm saying aren't as a result of thinking that you're behind or thinking that you're not doing things well. It's because you can do better, like all of us can do better, and it's always coming from a place of service from the heart. So just keep that in mind. We had one person who was a little bit butthurt about that, but that's okay. I understand it's very difficult sometimes when we put ourselves out there. We are vulnerable. But honestly, that's the best thing to do because all the great stuff that happens in life happens outside of our comfort zone, right? And definitely later today, I'm going to be stepping outside of my comfort zone in the world of Pokemon. I feel like I'm going to have like shaky hands while opening packs. I'm just going to be like, hey, everybody, welcome in. And then it's going to hurt people's eyes. I remember when I spoke on stage for the first time, literally, I thought that people would throw tomatoes at me because that's what we see in the movies. I thought that I'd get booed off the stage or I'd trip and fall and get a bloody nose and it would be all over my coat and everything, just the worst things possible. And that's what we tell ourselves. Our brain does a great job of coming up with ideas, whether those are good ideas or just silly ideas. And it's up to us to understand how we want to react to those things because we need to find the truth out there. And the truth is you need to put yourself out there and it's not going to be perfect. You got to make mistakes in order to grow. So we are going to review Miss Queen Bee today. Breast cancer, sip and chat with Queen Bee. And Queen Bee, would you like a website review or a YouTube channel review? We'll get to the others in just a minute, but I remember us talking last week about that. And I'm super grateful that you're here today, and I caught that that you got my attention this morning. The lens probe would be useful. This thing, the probe lens, useful for what, Elton? I don't know what you're talking about, but this can be some shenanigans can happen when we use that thing sometimes. Dr. Joella says, so I applaud you. Doing 12 days of content consistently on IG has been challenging. Yeah, Dr. Joella, I've noticed it, though. I see you there. I hope that you saw my comment on one of your stuff. Appreciate you for putting yourself out there. Great job. Okay, YouTube, you got it. You'll be first up after I share a little bit more information about what I'm going to be looking for and what everybody should be looking for. In fact, oboe files. I'm going to put oboe files as well. I like the oboe. And oboe, would you like a YouTube channel review or a Deep Pocket Monster review? Says Elton. Yeah, maybe one day for sure. But this isn't about me. This is about everybody else. So, oboe, would you like a YouTube channel review or a and then finally, we're going to go with Asma. So I see you there, asmawebsite.com. I think that's the first time I've ever seen the word website for a website domain. That's pretty unique. Cool. So Fit Over 50 says, for all the review candidates, the best advice you'll ever get pen and paper. Cool. And Bill said, stopped in with Pokekobe, says hi, very cool. Okay, so let's start with Queen Bee. And again, Obo, if you have the ability to tell us a little bit more about whether or not you'd like a YouTube channel review or a website review, that'd be great. And then music for all moods, I see you there. Okay, YouTube as well. Cool. Today's going to be a YouTube day, it seems. Asma, yours is a website, which is pretty cool. And then we got Music Space, which I may not get to. I'm just going to let you know I may not get to that. But I can start with that one maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow is a Q&A day, and we might start with that. Sometimes we carry over, but I like to go in depth with these reviews. I don't want to breeze over them, and I want to give everybody a fair chance. And for Queen Bee and Obo and Asma, they've been in this chat for a while, and so Music Space and potentially Dog Happy too, if we go really quickly, but cannot guarantee those last two today. Thanks for understanding. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to doing this. Okay, so what am I going to be looking for here? A few things. When I go to a website or a YouTube channel, the first thing I look for is, can I understand who this is for and what it's about? That's just the most important thing. I mean, that's so kind of obvious, right? But unfortunately, we don't obviously share what those things are. And if that thing is not obvious, then it's not going to do well. We need to be very upfront with what this is about and who this is for, right? So I'm going to be looking for those things, both on websites and YouTube channels. Secondly, I want to see if there's any proof. And by proof, I mean within the videos, of course, you can't put everything on your YouTube artwork at the top. But if you can put sort of social proof or some understanding that, okay, there's a lot of people out there who talk about the same thing, most likely. But what makes this one unique? And also, how do I know to believe this stuff, right? Proof is really, really important. People default to doubt online. Let me say that again. People default to doubt. So we have to share some sort of proof to help people understand whether or not this is something that people can trust, people can move forward with, people can begin to know about. Uncle Bill, thank you so much for the sticker. Appreciate you for that. Donated 99 cents. Not required, but I appreciate you for that. What else am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for the person behind the videos or the person behind the website. I want to see, okay, who is this exactly? And if I want to learn more, can I learn more about you? So an about page and what that's going to be like, I'm going to look for that. Also, very important, especially on websites, is a start here area. Somewhere where a person's coming in, they get involved with, okay, I like this website. It seems to be right for me, but where do I begin? Blogs especially have trouble with this as far and as well as YouTube channels with just having a wall of stuff without any guidance. And a blog is not so great in terms of helping people know where to begin. Oftentimes, a blog especially will show the latest post, which is sort of however many days, years, months into a person's journey. But if you can have a start here page where a person can go, okay, of all the things here, this is what I should do first. This is what really this is about. This is what content I can get into first, then that's great. How do we do that on YouTube? Well, a playlist will be great. Your YouTube videos all should be in different playlists, and your playlist should be displayed in an array on the homepage of your YouTube channel. And that way, there's actually more chances for people to capture their attention and have them go into a video. Now, we are going to be looking at some videos as well, and I want to see within these videos, are you hooking me, right? The title, thumbnail, and the stick. So the click and the stick, that's going to be really important for these first YouTube channels. And then finally, I'm just going to look for some different sort of just things that stand out, maybe red flags, and also good things. I want to point out what's good as well, because I think that's just as important. So let's go into it. I'm just going to make sure that my settings are good so that in case I want to listen to the videos, I can have that ability. And you'll be able to listen as well. So it should be fine. And we're going to go to, actually, here we go. Private Eye Podcast, thank you so much. Welcome to Team Flynn Gold. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go to YouTube. By the way, special shout out to artlist.io. Not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Artlist, but artlist.io is a really cool place where you can get some royalty-free music that you can use on your website, on your YouTube videos, and you can use it like in an unlimited fashion. I use Artlist. I subscribe annually, and what's really cool is you can use any of the music for literally any purpose you want and as many times as you want. Sort of an unlimited license, and it's really cool because the music is really good. Like I could actually imagine myself listening to those on like Spotify or on the radio or something. So it's really great. Obviously, you can't just like put them all into a playlist and sell it, but you could put it in your videos and content and stuff. And again, that's artlist.io. Okay, so let's go over to YouTube, the YouTube land. By the way, look at this, 5,000 subscriber live Poke Party giveaway. This is the fun place to be later today at 3 p.m. Pacific. I worked on this thumbnail. See how it stands out. People are here already. How incredible is that? There are 17 people waiting in that room. That's insane. But we're looking for Queen Bee. So where's Queen Bee at? I need to find her full name here so that I can just get right to it. Okay, here we go. Breast cancer. Sip in chat with Queen Bee. Now the cool thing about that, even though the name is quite long, it's definitely something that can tell me a little bit more about what the YouTube channel is about already, which is really cool. Okay, first impressions. Love the pink. Obviously, breast cancer, pink, and breast cancer awareness. I love that theming. That's really good. Let's see. Let's look at the artwork up here. Breast cancer sip and chat with Queen Bee. You have your picture there. Now, this doesn't look fancy. It doesn't look super high quality. And guess what? That's okay because I'm getting a gist already of exactly what this YouTube channel is about. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes. You have a little bit of a coffee thing up here. It would be cool, I will say. It's great. You don't need to change it. But let's enhance it a little bit. What if instead of the picture of you looking really good there, you were also holding a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something? Just sort of like to lean into that. And I think that's a really important thing that we need to understand. If you have a position in the space in some way, shape, or form, in this case, it's, hey, we're just sipping and chatting about it. And I love that positioning here because, you know, breast cancer, of course, can definitely be something that is very heavy. It feels very serious. But here you are, we're just sipping and chatting about it, right? So this is like your position in the space. Let's lean into that. So wherever possible, let's have you sip and chat away, you know? Like, so maybe in your logo or in your avatar even, you can have like a cup or something. It'd be really cool to see like a mug with the logo of your YouTube channel or brand in there. That would be really cool. But I love, love, love what I'm seeing so far. So let's see here. Breast cancer sip and chat with Queen Bee. Support, educate, storytime, awareness. New videos bi-weekly. Cool, so you come out with a new video every other week, and it doesn't look like you've actually been doing that. Well, at least as far as the homepage here is concerned. So I'm gonna go to videos, and this may be a little bit different. No, okay, so all the videos that you have are here. So you don't necessarily have a ton of videos yet to have like a bunch of playlists and stuff, and that's totally fine. The one thing I do feel that's missing is a welcome video of some kind, right? Because you wanna lean into, again, who Queen Bee is and how you can help others. And it's hard to know just from the top here, right? Yes, a person might go, okay, I have breast cancer. I know somebody who has breast cancer. This is a place for me. That can happen with what you've done already. And that's great. That's sort of level one. You've already passed that level and passed that score. So good job. But we could benefit from a welcome video because, again, because this topic is so heavy, I think a welcome video that just expresses who you are, what this is about, and most importantly, how you're going to make this chill, how you're going to make this so easy to talk about. I think, again, that is what I would lean into for sure. So let's talk about these thumbnails really quick because this is all I have to work with, right? This is all I have to work with. So the one thing I will notice is that there's a lot of text on these thumbnails and they're very, very difficult to read. And imagine a person on an even smaller device, like a phone. The phone is going to be, oh, you just changed it to bi-weekly. Cool. So we should see a little bit more consistency. That's something I was going to get to. The fact that you were coming out with about 1 or 2 videos per month, but bi-weekly, yeah, just keep pumping content out there, and you're doing a great job of doing that already with 41 subscribers, and that's great. 41 real life people on the other end. Imagine 41 people with breast cancer or who are very interested in it because somebody who they love is in it. That's so great, and that's the starting point, right? And just imagine MKBHD, the most prominent YouTube reviewer of electronics in the world. His first 100 videos were for his first 100 subscribers. I think it was in fact 72 subscribers he had for his first 100 videos. You already passed half that, and you only have 6 videos. That's amazing. So let's keep up the good work here, right? I love that. So the welcome video idea can be great. Wendy just put one up on her own too, which is really good. And I think that what can happen here is the thumbnails need some work. The thumbnails definitely need some work because to me, they feel like slides for a presentation that people are already watching, right? Like these would be perfect slides if I zoomed in like this and I was like, oh, okay, your first diagnosis, first in the series, DCIS, ductal, I can't say those words, but it's great for a presentation, but we're not in a presentation yet. You have to earn that click. The click is the title and the thumbnail. That's the most important stuff, the title and the thumbnail. Somebody said, thank you for whoever subscribed, said Queen Bee. Cool. You're totally welcome to subscribe to these channels, by the way. Excuse me. What I love about what I'm seeing in the previews here is it's like it's feeling very real, right? You just put the camera on, you're chatting. I love this here. The previews are really nice because I can be like, okay, Queen Bee, I just want to chat with you. Okay, here it is. But we can't get people to watch the video unless the title and the thumbnail are worth clicking on. So we need to work on that. We need to remove as much text as possible. We need to blow up your face more, meaning like, let's make it bigger. You can even have your face take up half of the entire thumbnail if you wanted to. But then like IDC, I think that's important, invasive ductal carcinoma, that could be something that could be a little bit bigger. If that is in fact the topic of the video, we need to blow that up too. We don't need the name of the brand, breast cancer sip and chat. That's already here, right? Let's talk about, we don't need that either. We don't need the YouTube logo either. We just need a thumbnail that when a person's scrolling through their feed, they go, whoa, okay, the pink is helpful, by the way, but they see this friendly face and they want to come here and check it out, right? So hopefully that helps you with the thumbnails. Really, really important. What I want to do now is I want to watch this latest video that you came out with, and I'm going to play it, and I want to see what we can learn from it together. So I'm going to zoom out here, and hopefully you should hear it. If you don't worry, I'll change the... Okay, cool.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so you had some sound. By the way, the lipstick, do that. I love it. It's just like so... It's the first thing that stood out, and it matches the colors of the brand. I think I love that. Let's lean in. That's you leaning into the brand. I love that. But the first part of the video, which I'm thankful that was only 10 seconds, but imagine a person who clicks a thumbnail about IDC, and they know what that is because they are clicking on it already, and they know that they're here to watch this video. Imagine they're watching and they watch and they see this. Okay. This is the brand name. This does not provide value to the person who clicked because they want to learn about IDC. The brand can come later. The brand is something, and people following you, in fact, you can get to the point where you don't even ever have to ask people to subscribe. If your content hits home, people will come back because they'll feel like it's their home too. So we can remove all this beginning stuff. Let's just get right into you. Again, you are the personality, sipping tea with you. Maybe there's this whole thing where at the beginning of the videos, you're just like, hey, cheers, just want to chat cancer with you. We're here to make chatting about this easier today, and today we're going to talk about IDC, or invasive ductal carcinoma. The reason this is important is because blah, 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 proof about it, and I'll talk about the tiptoe strategy in just a minute, which I sort of invented a couple weeks ago when I did a video. But again, we don't need these beginning parts here, right? This would actually be a better thumbnail, says Bluegrass. Yeah, this would be a better thumbnail, in fact, although size-wise of the text, yeah. But again, we don't need the brand in the title. We just need invasive ductal carcinoma. What is it? Or something like that. And then a picture of you. So let's click play. See, again, this stuff, people already know this. Let's just get past this, right? Here's where I would start, right? Hi, guys. Here. I love this, or having some tea. Again, leaning into that. I feel like I'm right there with you. The camera angle is perfect. The lens is right at your eye. The framing is good. I love the hope in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm just like sitting across from you on the couch. I love that. I love this a lot. So this is a great camera angle, but let's see how you hook me into this video. That's what I really want to know first. So the first part, we can remove that. We don't need that anymore. Let's just get right into the video, and hopefully within the first 20 seconds here, you're going to convince me why I need to watch the rest of this 16-minute video.
How you doing today? Of course, I said we're going to get into a series on the different types of breast cancer. Today is number 2 in the series, which is IDC, which is invasive ductal carcinoma.
Okay, you mentioned the keywords, which is great. You always want to mention the keyword for the video in the very first sentence or the very first 10 or 15 seconds. So great job there. I do have some comments, but we'll get to you in just a minute. Tina says her smile hooks you totally. And she's like highlighted it even more for us, and I love that.
If you have not been here before, this is Queen B, and I talk most things breast cancer as a 2-time breast cancer warrior.
So there's some proof, there's some sort of, hey, I'm somebody who's qualified to talk about this. That's great.
I will talk about probably some other things that may be breast cancer related, but who knows? You never know with me. But if you've never been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate all of you being here. So let's get started.
Okay, so 45 seconds in, we're about to get into the explanation or the sort of meat part of the content. Not bad. I would grade that probably a B-. We got some room, but hey, great job still. What I would recommend is we need a little bit more convincing on this topic specifically. You have to believe most of your viewers have never seen you before. That's how you need to approach your videos, because in fact, that's what's going to happen. If you check out anybody's analytics, most of the people who view your videos are not going to be your subscribers, are not going to ever have seen you before. And that's thanks to YouTube. And that's a good thing. YouTube is sending stuff out to the world for us to hopefully get more viewers back. But as soon as you start saying, hey, this is the second video of a part whatever series, people who've never seen you before are going to go, okay, I'm out. I feel like I'm starting in the middle, right? If you say, hey, here on this channel, we talk about this, this, and this, that's totally fine. But you forgot to tell me why this particular video is worth watching all the way through, right? So you've connected the title to the first part of the conversation, which is good. But what we need is we need to share in this video blank. And we need to convince people why they need to stick around. You shared the proof, which is the P in tiptoe, so that's good. But then we need to talk about the T's. The T in toe is the T's. What kinds of things are you going to talk about? Are you going to tell me the story that almost had you, I don't know. Maybe you got into a big fight with a family member as a result of all this. If you say that in the beginning, I'm going to stick around to hear that story, right? I don't know. I'm just making that up. And then the O in tiptoe is objections, right? So you might say something like, I know if you're watching this and perhaps you have cancer, I know what you might be feeling. You might be feeling hopeless. You might be feeling like, who's the random person on the internet? How are they going to help me? Right? What are the objections that they have? Let's just get to those up front, because if they still have those objections while watching the video, they're either going to leave or they're going to not believe and not take in everything like they should, right? So chat, let me know if this is being helpful. I hope that this is something that we can all learn from. And again, remember, people who find your video assume they don't know who you are, meaning if you just talk about yourself first, that's not gonna cut it. You have to convince the person who doesn't know who you are why this video matters. Then you can talk about yourself, a little bit about your qualifications. I love the warrior part that you mentioned, and then you go from there. So Queen Bee, I hope this is really helpful, but yes, you really have to start with the hook right away. All right. Also, this is the final tip here. And again, thank you, Queen Bee, for being a part of this. I want you to understand that IDC is a very specific thing. How might you cast a wider net if possible? And an example of this is when I do a video that's about, how to grow your podcast, for example. Oftentimes Yes, I do have 4 podcasts in the title, and I mentioned it's for podcasters, but I try to cast a wider net too, so that if people don't have a podcast or they're thinking about starting one, I might say something like, hey, whether you have a podcast already or not, or even if you want to be a guest on other people's podcasts and you want that episode to grow and help you get more exposure, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to X, Y, Z. So do you see how I'm not just like, hey, podcaster, here, I'm going to help you grow your podcast. But what if a person doesn't have a podcast yet? And what if they don't have a podcast, but they're still interested in podcasting like on other people's shows? You can cast a wider net. You need to do this quickly. You don't want to be like, hey, if you are a podcaster, a blogger, a YouTuber, a author, an email newsletter writer, if you also create content like a vlog, and within vlogging, maybe you do storytelling, or maybe you tell people with your camera facing like if you got to obviously kind of draw the line somewhere. But yes, hopefully that makes sense. And I promise you, if you look at your analytics, anybody, and you see where most of your views are coming from, they're from people who have no idea you exist. No idea you exist. I'm going to take this quick moment, and thank you, Queen Bee. I hope this is helpful for you and gives you at least a head start, but you've got a lot of the pieces already there. And as you can tell, I'm not even talking about the video. I like your storytelling, your information is going to be so helpful, and that's a very difficult thing to already have. Now let's like put all the pieces up front so that people can find you, people can love you, people can trust you, and people can get more help from you. Cool? Cool. Well done. So let's talk about the video that we actually created together last week, right? You might remember a video on smart passive income on this channel here, where let's actually go into, I'll share my screen in just a second. I want to go into the video, the Clubhouse video. Anybody here when we sort of filmed that Clubhouse video together? So I actually filmed some of it live with you, in fact, which was pretty cool. And that video, in fact, is very close to being done. So actually, it's not in YouTube yet. It's very close to being on YouTube. But I'm going to look for the video on Frame. If you might remember, I used Frame to coordinate with my editor. We go back and forth on this platform. But I wanted to share this video with you because I have it available. All right. So yes, that's a weird looking face. But as you can see, I've left comments already. And comments about, hey, there's a little too much music here. Use this image instead of this image. I'm not going to play this full video, but remember the hook in this video, blank. What am I going to be teasing? How am I going to hook people into this right away, assuming that they don't know who I am, right? How do I get into it? Let's watch. I've been on Clubhouse for 2 months now, have gained over 40,000 subscribers, and I can say with confidence that Clubhouse is a tool that everybody should be taking advantage of. Gaining followers fast is awesome, but even more awesome are the connections that you can make, the business deals that could go down, and the credibility that you can earn for you and your brand. Plus, you might find yourself in a room with some really, really cool people too. In this video, I'm sharing 10 tips for winning on Clubhouse in 10 minutes, even if you're an introvert. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have That was the objection, even if you're an introvert, which is the #1 objection people have with regards to getting on Clubhouse or succeeding with it. I have a huge warning for you. Clubhouse actually can be quite dangerous. I want to make sure you don't fall into the same trap that I've seen a lot of other people fall into with this platform. Cool? Cool. Let's begin. Okay. So, did you hear what I did at the end there? 10 tips for winning on Clubhouse in 10 minutes. I talked about the benefits of it. I shared some proof right away. 40,000 plus subscribers on there already, which is pretty unique. So you got to flex. You got to flex what you got. And then finally, hey, I have a warning for you. So stick around to the end so you don't fall into the same traps that other people fall into as well, right? So that why is actually a consequence in this case, a warning, right? Yes, it's a little bit of a carrot, but if you want more people to find your videos, you got to keep people watching all the way through as much as possible. And when you do that, YouTube will reward you because they're going to be like, wow, people actually watch and love this video. Okay, let's send it to more people. So dangle that carrot, but make sure you still give them that carrot at the end, right? Is this video out yet? No, it's coming out on Monday. Cool. Yes, set time limits, so addictive. That is in fact, just sort of as a spoiler alert, the warning is it's a time suck, right? And I've seen people sort of on Clubhouse while at dinner with their families, which is cool. What trap is that? The locked out trap Android? No. You are the master. I can hardly wait to be as great as you are. No, you're going to be even greater in your own special way, Wendy. You do not want to be like me because then you're not being like yourself, right? Cool. Okay, next YouTube channel review. We're going to go to Oboe Files. Shonda says, I like carrots. I like that. Okay, so thanks for letting me share that with you. It'll be coming out on Monday, but again, since we sort of did the behind the scenes together, you saw the script as I was recording that. Those were the same moments that you saw on the live stream. If we actually went back to the live stream, you'd see the cut parts, right? And remember how awkward it was? I hit record and I'd make mistakes and I'd be like, trying to memorize the next sentence. And it went jump cut from jump cut to jump cut. A little bit of B-roll in there, some stuff flying on the screen every once in a while. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's go to Oboe Files. And I'm excited to hear some oboe, hopefully. OBOE files. All right.
Hey, Danny. Yeah.
All right, I hear some stuff already, which is good. I like that, and I'm assuming that this is like a clever, fun little intro for you, Danny, which is pretty cool. So let's first talk about first impressions. Oboe Files. Let's imagine I'm an oboe player. I would imagine that this is for people who play or love listening to oboe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that the image there isn't really going to do much for me in terms of helping me connect to this brand, right? So free oboe resources, which is great. Good job there, by the way, having some free resources to give away. That's value given, and that's great. But unfortunately, I'm not feeling the connection to this beautiful landscape, by the way. Now, maybe I could piece together the idea that an oboe often sounds very serene, almost natural in a way, especially in movies and such, where I can imagine an oboe playing over the scenery. But what is Oboe Files about? Who is it for? What am I going to get here? Those are the things we need to answer here too. So let's work on that, obviously. Maybe you can use the same image, but honestly, imagine a person who's like, I play oboe and I want to come here. What do you think we should show them? Either some music notes, some imagery, some oboe, maybe an oboe with some fingers on it. Maybe you playing the oboe, maybe something even more interesting. Maybe you are playing oboe in the scenery, right? Like legit playing in nature. And that then says something about how you feel about the instrument. Like pictures say 1,000 words, right? This picture is saying 1,000 words. It's not saying the words you probably want it to say. Cool. What does oboe stand for? Sorry, this question. Oboe is an instrument. It's sort of like a clarinet, but oboe is an instrument. And you could see the instrument kind of right there. Right there. That is an oboe. So if you don't know what it is, you're probably not in the target audience. But first of all, 2,360 subscribers. Awesome. Well done. You probably have some great videos here. So here we go. Reed making. So we're starting to see playlists come into play. This is so important once you start to get a bank of videos. Let's separate them out so people can have an easier time finding them. Great job doing that here. Reed making. I wonder if right now, the only thing I would say is, okay, you got reed making. Cool. What else you got? If I'm an oboe player and I'm not into reed making, then I might kind of assume that, okay, well, this is a reed making oboe player resource versus I don't know what else you have. Again, I don't have it in the title up here or the art area to know what that is. So again, people are coming here and they don't know who you are or what you have. We have to be upfront with that, right? Okay, so let's go to videos and see. Oh, bro, you have a ton more videos. Transpose, how to transpose, pitch fix. Oh, there's so many things. Oh, wow. Wow, you've been very, very prolific with your content. Very consistent, which is great. Titles and thumbnails could, they're actually okay, but I think we could use a little work. We'll talk about that in just a minute. How to staccato and trill in lyrical things. Holding it together. This is great. How to adjust your oboe. Like all these how-tos are probably great. Like look at this. How-tos are always so great. Right, look at this. How-to 1.4 thousand. Let's actually go to your most popular and see what we got here. Most popular. I'm going to take my video away just to make it a little cleaner. So some old stuff, not necessarily related to oboe, which is kind of cool. I like seeing sort of older things that sort of just take off randomly. So how to make a whole reed fast. We got strange but true facts of the oboist. That's great. I love this thumbnail, by the way. True facts. Oboe who? What is audiation? Vibrato. So a lot of the how-to stuff can be put into their own playlist as well. But honestly, really good job on the videos and how consistent they are. You can go back and make these videos with better thumbnails and whatnot. You can go back into the past and do that. You don't have to do that just on videos that are coming out. You can do that with older videos, right? So see if there's any commonalities between the different kinds of videos that are in your most popular. That's a signal from YouTube that those videos should be done more. Whether it's like how-to stuff, or I don't know if it's the read making or playing type stuff. And then of course you want to support YouTube and the people here and actually put them into playlists so that people can actually see all of them. The sort of most beautiful thing that can happen on YouTube is a person will get so excited about the topic and see a playlist for that topic that they'll click play and then they'll binge watch all those videos. So now instead of a person watching a 4-minute video or even the full like 8-minute video, they're now watching like 5-10-minute videos all in a row. And that can happen if and only if they are in a playlist or over time when your videos pop up as next in your stuff. Okay, let's talk about these thumbnails a little bit. This is a 6-day ago video. Which sounds better? So we got two things. Oboe Trial Marigox M2 versus 2001. Okay, so these versus videos are really, really good. But in the thumbnail, let's show the two clearly, right? Right now in the thumbnail, again, remember, people need to click. The click and then stick strategy. The click is the title and the thumbnail. I think that on the title, you have a little bit more room. I always like using the sort of last part of the title that's sort of not the keywords to just express something that helps people go, well, what? It might be something like, you know, surprising results, or it might be something like, you know, audio test, or, you know, 7-minute test or something to just go, okay, and this is a 7-minute video. So, you know, a little bit additional real estate there to add something new that people can click on, right? But it would be cool if you had both things like this, right? So you could hold both oboes like this, and you're in the background like that, or just go hold both and go, you know, which sounds better, right? I like that you have the text, in fact, on the thumbnail, and the fact that the text does not match the title of the video, because you don't need them to match. You already are using it in the title. You don't need to have it in the video as well. But I think that your text should be, I don't know, there's just, the font is not super, excuse me, I don't know, chat, I'm having a hard time finding the words, but what would you say, excuse me, on the actual font, right? It almost is like, it's not, if I were to shrink this down, I think they're too thick, right? They sort of like blend into each other. So you have to imagine that this is what people are seeing. And I think, you know, the blue with the black in the background is fine. But I think the red and green, yeah, I think it's the red and green. I know that the red and the green are sort of opposing colors, and that typically provides a lot of contrast, but it's like the red and the green blend in together. So if I go back here, I can't read this anymore. Be smart and in fit. In F sharp, sorry. See, I didn't even read it correctly. So thumbnails should tell a story of some way. I think that, you know, this one with emotions, Furling, number 27, Lamia, oboe, etude, it's complicated. See, here you did it. It's complicated. I love how you add that there. And then you put emotions in the title, or in the thumbnail. That's great. And I think that if you had a closer up image of you, because look at the real estate here. And again, I'm getting a little bit detailed here because you're doing a great job, right? I want you to get even better, but you're doing a great job. So I hope that none of this is sort of like, oh, I got to do this. No, you get to do this so that you get to help more people. But let's imagine this. You are in this room, and I'm trying not to have it kind of like do the preview thing. I like how there's like a SpongeBob situation going on in there. But imagine that, okay, I'm seeing a stand, a frame, a bookshelf, a lot of wall. The most important parts are probably you and the connection to the reed, or you and your fingers. So you can be blown up here. People connect to faces, not walls and frames and stands. So you can blow that up. And I would say use the whole thing. There's a lot of white on the left-hand side that is sort of wasted, right? And so use the whole thing and then put an image on there of the text or something. You know, you're close, but I think that if your face was bigger and there was less of the room and more of the oboe, again, oboe everything, lean into that, right? That I think would do much better and get a higher click-through rate. What you want to do is you want to check your analytics. And because you have so many videos, you get to check the analytics to see which videos have a higher click-through rate. So I'm not going to do this right now, but all of these videos, maybe the last 12 videos, go and check to see what the click-through rate is and see which ones are actually getting a higher click than others. You should aim for 4 to 5% click-through rate on these videos. And click-through rate means YouTube's going to send your video out to thousands of people for free. And it's up to you to see how you might be able to take advantage of that. And if you get a lower click-through rate is how many people who click versus how many people actually saw the thing, right? Yeah, the font's a little weird. I would brighten the overall look of the thumbnail too. Yeah, I mean, again, this picture of you is looking like it's from the actual video. It's a little blurry and it's dark. You can totally, and I would recommend taking a separate picture, right? A separate picture. You might even use this picture that I have here. If I go to home and we go here. So imagine that this is you on the left-hand side with an oboe holding not a pack of cards, but an oboe, right? So we can go there. And close-up face, people connect with this. Now, here's the trick about this. This pack of cards in my hand was a photo that I took. I just held the pack of cards like this, and I waited till it zoomed in, but it's not going to zoom. I think I went like this. And I took that picture like that. So imagine like your fingers on an oboe like this. I took that picture on the camera. Just the fingers. And then another one I went like this. I took a whole bunch of like pictures like that. And then I put the two together. Then I put the two together. Then I took myself out of it. And then I just put some really cool bright colored background. And then I wrote one word, giveaway. Because that's the big thing here. That's what's going to attract the most people, right? So you can experiment, test it, but go into the analytics and see which of these videos people are clicking on and which ones they're not. And you'll see, I mean, imagine you have 300 views on a video that has a 2% click-through rate. If you simply had a 4% click-through rate, you'd have twice as many views on the video. Just 2% uptick on that. You'd have twice as many people finding that video. And then, of course, if you get them to stick around, they're going to stick around for longer, and that'll then share your video with even more people, right? Cool. So let's go back to where I was. Oboe files. Why am I singing? I don't know. Actually sounded pretty cool. Okay, so we got a trailer video, which is awesome. I'm not going to play that right now because just the fact that you have a trailer video is a win. Right? And it's only a minute long, so I'm hoping it shares like exactly what the site is about. But I want to go into some of these videos here that are more relevant to what you're doing right now. So let's play this versus video actually. And I want to see again, how do you hook me in? How do you get me to understand that this is a place that I need to stick around? Because remember, I don't know who you are and I don't know what the purpose of this video is yet. I just see that it has two oboe types versus each other, which in and of itself is going to hold me in a little bit because people like to see comparison type things. But let's go click on this video so we can see how you hook me in.
Hello, Opophiles! Today we are trying out the Marigo 2001 against the Marigo M2.
Now you stuttered a little bit or you waited, but I don't care. You told me exactly what the video was about. You're holding them in your hand. Lighting could be a little bit better, but you know what? You had a little pattern interrupt in the upper left-hand corner with a logo on it. Great. Perfect. You didn't waste any time. You just got right into it. I love it. Let's keep going.
That's right. I'm not that familiar with Marigo oboes, to be honest. I don't really play on them.
Feels very real.
Often, except for when I'm just trying them out. So that'd be cool to kind of compare two of the professional full conservatory oboes that they create and see how...
Okay, I see what you're trying to do there. The little professional text that kind of rolled in. Do y'all see that? I have an idea for you that I think would be even more engaging, but let me see if we can play that one more time.
Of the professional full conservatory oboes that they create and see how they...
So it's a little distracting. One quick, easy way to do something like what you're trying to do that could be a little bit easier and less distracting would be when you say the word professional, you can even have a little joke kind of thing, right? Maybe it's a quick stock image of if I went to, and you don't want to just like pick random Google images. Maybe you have access to a library of some kind, or you can even take these photos yourselves. But when you say the word professional in your editing, just cut to a full screen thing of somebody in a suit, right? Somebody like, when you say professional, it's like person in a suit, and then it goes back to you, right? That little tiny like joke, that little tiny stinger, that little tiny pattern interrupt is really cool, right? And I think you do that in some of your other videos based on what I saw in sort of the thumbnail previews. But yeah, I like this. I'm sort of in your room. We're just hanging out. Again, I think lighting could be the next thing for you to make these videos even more compelling and better, just to light your face a little bit. But I think that we're off to a good start. Let's play a little bit more of this to see how quickly we get into just hearing these things.
They feel different. Now, the M2 is brand new. The 2001 that I'm trying is 3 years old, which is still pretty new for an oboe. It might be 4 years old, actually. But still, pretty new for an oboe. My instrument, of course, is almost 8 years old, so kind of give that in comparison. And I go through the M2 instrument with a lot more detail and compare it to my own personal instrument in a different video.
Nice.
So that's in the description below.
In the description below. That's a good time to put a card up here in the upper right-hand corner, too. If you do have that video, you can just have it go right to the card.
Well, if you want to see a guide to purchasing an instrument, I have that in the description as well as the new monthly free newsletter from obofiles.com, which you can subscribe to and keep up with projects that I'm working.
Cool. I like how you're sharing other things that you can get access to. The one thing I will say is that I'm close to tuning out based on the title, because these two things are the things I'm here for, and I haven't quite yet gotten to the point where I think a newsletter would be something I would want to sign up for yet. Right? I think you could drop the newsletter. You have 3 call to actions right in the beginning there. Do this one video. I have another video about, instrument something, and then this newsletter. That's a lot, right? Maybe 1 call to action, you sort of earned it by sharing, hey, in this video, we're going to do these things really quick. Let me tell you about this in case you're more interested in it. Okay, let's get to the test, right? People are here for the test. Maybe another way to help earn a little bit more time from people would be to actually do a preview of a part in the middle of the video where it's like, boop, boop. Wow, that was different. And then it goes right into this. And so it kind of like teases, sort of like a Netflix show that kind of teases what's coming or whatever, right? Dremio, what's up? Welcome. Cool. So hopefully this is helpful. But thank you so much, Obophiles. And I hope that you'll take a little bit of this information and put it into action. But well done. Card is a copy of another video. Yes. So a card is actually a call to action spot within the video that actually will pop up typically over here. And you can set it to pop up at any time. So if you ever mention a previous video of yours, that's a perfect place to put it. Or if you ever know that you have a video that was relevant to the topic and maybe you didn't even mention it, you can still have the card pop up at that time. And you can have it be a card to subscribe to another person's channel in case there's a guest, for example. You can have the card go to a specific website, and you can have the card go to a different video or playlist even. Cool. Cool, you're welcome. All right, we're gonna finish off with a website review, in fact. And so I apologize for the others who I said that we might be able to get to, but I like to go deep, and Obophiles had a lot of things to share here. Also, the other thing, Obophiles, is I don't know your name. I don't know your name. I think we saw your name for a second, right?
Hey, Danny.
Trailer for Danny Cruz Obophiles. So again, I would rename this also Trailer for Danny Cruz Obophiles. I would just, like that almost seems like somebody made it for you and then dropped it in here and then is waiting for you to change the name. But I would have it be like, welcome to Obophiles, your #1 spot for all things oboe, right? For example. But yeah, this is cool. This is probably you talking to yourself.
Composers get when they forget.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna do a website review, and let's get into it. Hope you guys are enjoying the shenanigans over here. All right. So this is Asma's website. Beautiful template, I will say. Nice imagery. Love that Atomic Habits is here. One of my favorite books. One of my friends, James Clear. Okay. So yeah, Tina, so right. What's great is there's clearly lots of people who want to see about oboes. Yeah, it's a little fun niche, and I think that I was a trumpet player myself, so I can definitely understand wanting to learn everything there is about a particular instrument. Okay, so this is Asma's website. I'm gonna take myself away, and again, template's looking really good as far as how it's laid out. But I don't know what I'm going to get here. I see peace of mind, and I see a very tiny logo in the upper left-hand corner. Asma, I would blow that up and have it be huge. I think it's a beautiful looking logo, a heart with a leaf at the end of it, and that's gone. And on mobile, it's going to be even smaller. Not necessarily, but for sure. We need to figure out the structure and again, the most important thing is I don't know what this is about, who it's for, what am I going to get here. I just see peace of mind. And it's just kind of a saying, right? If you went up to the, if you were at Starbucks and a person was like, hey, Asma, I know you have a website. What is it about? And you said, peace of mind. A person would go, okay, I hear you. I like and want to have peace of mind, but what is your website about really? So let's get specific about what it is that we're doing here, right? So honestly, I have no idea what this is about yet, right? I have no idea what this is about, and that's a problem. That's a problem. So you have a lot more real estate here too, because I see this image, but a lot of real estate sort of just floating over here. You can move peace of mind up, although I would change it to a tagline or something. Maybe, for example, actually, let's scroll down and just read a little bit. Maybe we'll find it. All of us want to be a successful person in this area. In what area? In peace of mind. I think we need to get a little bit more specific and almost like, remember, people don't know who you are. They don't know what this is about. They don't know if it's going to be right for them. We need to get very specific. We need to get right into their brain, and we need to go just almost like right as if we're and speak to as if we're speaking to like an 8th grader, right? And who's at our website. We need to be that clear online. If it's not clear at all, people are going to leave, right? I put it on the About Me section. So all of us want to be a successful person in his area. I thought that said this area, in his area. But what if it's a her? What if it's a her? If I'm a woman and I'm reading this, I'm out, right? So is this for men only? And if that's the case, then it should be known up front, right? So just a little thought there. All of us want to be a successful person in his area, and some want to good enough to be able to do what they want, and that not happen without working hard to do it. Not important to start perfect. The important is to start doing it, and that taking action will teach you the best way. 100% agree. I love what you're saying. That really speaks to what a lot of people kind of, I think, know and they want. So you're helping people achieve success, it seems. You're helping people reach their goals. I do recommend rereading this and especially because perhaps English is not your first language, and that's totally cool. But there's so many people out there who would want to be and be willing to help you grammatically and to make sure that that's good, because unfortunately, if people see and read something like that, they're going to go, okay, well, I'm having a hard time understanding the grammar. This is probably not going to be for me. I'm going to go find somebody else, right? So you can use help and get help from others, but I think that being very clear about this with others can be great. And honestly, what I think would be even more connecting would be a video from you, right? Perhaps just how you naturally communicate with somebody, all these things that you're about to share. But now that I know this is about goal setting, peace of mind actually doesn't even make sense to me. I think that if you wanted to be so clear, it would be something like goal setting made easy, right? There we go. It's goal setting, but it's made easy because goal setting is often hard. And then a tagline maybe under that might say something like, helping break down no, maybe not that. What did you say here? You said some really good stuff. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to start. Let me help you get started on the right path to achieving your goals. Right? So I love that you said that. That inspired what I just said there. So, goal setting made easy. What did you say? You said it perfectly. It's important. It's important to start, or whatever I said earlier. You can go rewind that, but I think that worked, right? So goal setting. There we go. That works. That works. I also think the font is quite small here. The font is small, and make sure again you're not just saying his, but also like just us or we, if we're doing this together, and you know, if in fact this is for men and women, make sure to be careful about the pronouns. I will start with this quote. When you're weak in your mission and vision, you tell. When you're strong in your mission and vision, you show and tell. Cool. I like that quote. I think it's interesting how you are shouting, I will start with this quote, and then very tiny here. Again, font could be much bigger. It almost should be flip-flopped, or I think that, you know, maybe in small text you say, let me start with this quote. And then in big, bold text, you want to have this, right? You want to have that. Then you share a book, and I'm not exactly sure the context for why you're sharing this book. I think that, of course, if you share, you know, here's a book I recommend to help you get started, that can be sort of right here, and then you can get into the book. I like that. Maybe there's other books too. Now, how else can you help me, right? You have an about with goal setting, but okay, is the whole purpose here just to kind of feed people into this book? If this is on Amazon, by the way, oh no, that's interesting. So again, it looks like you just started your website, which is totally fine. You got it up there, just like you said. You just got to get started. You learn along the way, which is exactly what we're doing here, right? And I love that because you can follow your own advice here and do it with your own stuff. But if I go and look for your portfolio, I go to the home page. If I scroll down and I click Find Out How, okay, I go to the home page again. But what am I finding out how, right? Or is this a place where I can learn more about the book? Again, I like that you're talking about books. It's a great way to provide value for people. You might be able to share with them something that, you know, hey, there's so many resources out there. What should I get into, right? But definitely inspirational words for sure. Services, web development. Wow, there's web development here? I think we need to go back to not the drawing board, don't worry. We need to go back to the purpose of this website. What is the purpose? And if the purpose is to help people with their goals, then everything should be about that. Web development. Are you helping maybe people with their website goals? Maybe that's different, in which case web development services would make sense. My reads or my books, beyond words. Let's go to your blog really quick. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That blog post speaks to everything that we saw and read and talked about just a second ago. So I like that. I think some imagery to go along with it would go very well. This book is one of my favorite books I've read. This book, okay, so Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So that's the name of the book. I think that before you start talking about yourself, like this is one of my favorite books. This book encouraged me. Let's count. One. So I'm counting. What am I counting? I'm counting the number of my's or I's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 I's, me's, or my's. We need to start with they or them or you, right? The audience member. So this is a big, big thing. It's like there's some cases where saying me, my, I works really well. When you are in a confrontation with people or an argument, saying I feel this way, or I wonder how we might be able to solve this problem. That's okay. But when you're providing value to others, if you start with mine in the first 2 sentences, you say I, my, me that many times, a person's out because how are they going to relate to them? We haven't yet built a relationship yet for me to be interested in what you have to offer yet, because this is a website about my goals, right? So I might start this blog post by saying something like, if you're human, you've experienced fear. You might realize that fear has held you back from so many things that you want to accomplish in your life. There's a book I read that helped me conquer my own fears, and I wanted to share it with you today because it can absolutely change your life. Here's a quote to start out with. The pathway is smooth while you throw rocks in front of you. So then you can get into it. And I like how you're breaking this down into bullet points. I do agree. Somebody said that the book photo, Cynthia, should be more up top so that it's connected to the book too. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, but one step at a time. And hopefully just, again, the most important thing, let's connect the website to what the website's about and who it's for. And let's make it about service to others and helping them before we dive into ourselves, right? Cool. I'm writing notes now. Thanks a lot, Pat. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everybody. That is going to be the end of our show today. I'm very grateful for you spending time with me today. Thank you, Queen Bee, Obophiles, Danny, and as well as Asma. for being on the chopping block today. I know it's very difficult sometimes, but I'm here to help and serve, as you know. And if you're watching this and you've gotten some value out of this too, thank you so, so much. And if you can hit that thumbs up button, that would be very helpful. It helps other people find this later. And I think a lot of this content can indeed help others. And we can bring more amazing people into this community and make it even stronger too. So thank you so, so much for today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. But I might even see you later today on the Deep Pocket Monster YouTube channel. If you want to go in and check it out, that's at Deep Pocket Monster. I have a live stream today. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be an event, something that the Pokemon community has never seen before. And maybe you've never seen before. You can see me in my new element here, and I am a bit nervous, so it's kind of fun. It's this idea of putting yourself out there and making stuff happen. You're gonna learn, just like Asma said. You know, don't worry about being perfect. Just get out there. That's gonna be the best way to learn. So thank you for that note and reminder, Asma. I appreciate you, and keep up the good work. I will see you tomorrow. And as always, Team Flynn for the win.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Oh man, I'm pumped. I'm so hyped. I am so hyped for later today. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Deep Pocket Monster channel. It'll be fun, even if you don't like Pokemon. Hopefully you can see me in a new element and putting myself out there to inspire you to do the same too. Thank you so much. High five. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Peace out.